Hello, my name is Mark Roger, and this is the wish list for the RM Cuff application. My group member is David Bias. He's not here currently, and our project owner is Peter Dixon. So one of the first items on our wish list was to be able to verify phone numbers via text message. So essentially, as a user and a caregiver, whenever you register on the registration key screen when you first open up the application, um, we would like to be able to verify and make sure that the number that we provided is reachable through the text message services and that the communication between both apps is functioning correctly. So the process pretty much would be that the system would successfully send with a serialized set intent, which is part of the Android API for send message. And the server receives the serialized send intent and confirms that the number is registered successfully. At this point, the server sends a serialized received intent and confirms the number was registered successfully back to the system. If the number was registered unsuccessfully, then it would send a received intent notifying the user that this was the case. The system will then receive a serialized received intent, which confirms that the number was registered successfully, and the system would notify either the caregiver or the patient that the number was registered successfully. Next item on our wish list was to be able to store online, have an online database to store blood pressure data for scientific study and research. And essentially, the this was just to provide scientific community with a way of better helping elderly patients based on age and gender and stuff like that, and to give us more of a census of what type of blood pressure problems we were seeing around the world. And the way that this would work is that first, the patient and the caregiver would both have to consent to us sending their blood pressure readings. Their medical information wouldn't be shared. However, for example, their name would not be, but however, like the age and stuff like that, um, things that would be relevant to the scientific research would be um, would be not shared, but stored on their end. And then when the information is sent from us to them, it would be sent with a key which is linked to that patient or that caregiver. Which that way, when we send the information, we're not sending a lot of personal medical information, just simply a systolic and diastolic reading for research and study. Our next item on our wish list was to be able to show data in a graphical form to the patient or user. This was mainly, for ease of use for the caregiver primarily, where they could track their blood pressure readings over time and date, and see both the systolic and diastolic readings respectively. Um, uh, on a time scale. They can see if over time the blood pressure readings are dropping or if they're raising, and adjust their lifestyle accordingly. Lastly, we want to make updates to the user interface. One of the most important key concepts of this was to keep the user interface as simple as possible, and we felt that we did that. However, we felt there were some changes that could be made in order to make it even more simpler, especially for elderly who do not understand modern technology, how a smartphone works, how an app works. They'd still like to use it, however, they need help, getting around, or elderly who cannot maneuver their fingers very well. Let's say you have an elderly patient who's been using this application for a while, however, their arthritis, one day is acting up and they can't really um, handle the smartphone device. We want to be able to, account for this and make it a lot easier for the patients to use. And thank you very much for your time, and we hope you like the Arm Cuff app.